Hello and welcome to Big Bang Cinema. My name is Isaac the Red Shirt Anderson.
I am Tyler. I made it here on time, Keen.
And this is a movie show where we talk about movie news.
Movie reviews.
And every single in between. Sorry, I think I was muted at the beginning. It's almost like I just ran in here at the last minute or something
Yes,
like that.
you did. I saw you running in last minute.
It's crazy. I'm just out of breath because all
I
these
was
topics
like, where
are
is he at? I was wondering, where'd he go?
I've been here the whole time.
Yeah.
And we have good old Mr. Michael over here. Hope you're doing all right. And you can't see him, but you don't have to see him.
Smile,
He's
Michael.
Right here.
We're on camera, smile.
And not in our arteries, in our heart.
Yeah, but you're not on camera. We are.
Anyway,
smile
guys,
anyway.
Speaking about our arteries being clogged, the Current War just came out with a trailer.
Is this about berries?
This is not about currents. This is about currents.
Currents.
So this is currently about to come out. So the Current Wars. Have you ever heard of the Current Wars, Tyler?
I have. I think it was fought in Italy, and they had the cultivating with black currants, and this guy had the red currants and the white currants, and they're like fighting over who's going to be the dominant, the dominant producer of currents.
This one revolves around Nikola Tesla, Thomas Edison.
Oh, okay, current. Okay, the current.
I might have a trailer for that if we could play it behind us.
The electrical current war.
Yeah, so it's the electrical current war, but that
Okay.
didn't really roll off the tongue quite like this one.
Oh snap! He's got a lightsaber.
Yeah, so this is Nicholas Hoult right here. He plays Nikola Tesla. And if you don't
One of
know
my heroes.
Yeah, explain to the people who Nikola Tesla is in case you don't know.
Nikola Tesla, he was I believe he was Serbian. He was a Serbian inventor. Came to America. He worked for Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison alone worked for me, built an electric engine better than what we got. So he builds it, writes the plans, invents it in one night. It brings Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison's like, I'll make millions off of this, and you'll make nothing. I'll pay you $9 an hour. And he was like, screw that. So he burns it and makes his own electric company. And he discovers the wonders of alternating current.
Okay.
And
short version. We need short version.
Alternating current. This guy did things way beyond his time.
Okay, that's all we really need to know about Nikola Tesla.
All electricity comes from because of Nikola Tesla.
That's correct. It sure does. But he got screwed over at the time.
He pretty much rubbed Thomas Edison's face in the dirt.
Yeah, so this movie stars Nicholas Hoult, stars Michael Shannon, and Benedict Cumberbatch. Mm-hmm. And also, this is a fun fact, the reason we're talking about this, I'm like, well, this is just a trailer that came out this week, but we're also talking about this because this is a Weinstein film. Mm-hmm. It's a very touching motion picture.
Wasn't this filmed a while back?
This was filmed back in 2016, and this was supposed to come out in 2017, but Harvey Weinstein was found to be a scumbag, allegedly. Mm-hmm. But it's totally true. But they decided not to put it out because, obvious reasons.
See, I understand that they were hiding a Cumberbatch movie from me. Mm-hmm. They were hiding from the world, and they wouldn't let us have it. Okay,
well, I mean, here's the big thing. I remember when this trailer came out originally, not this trailer, but a different trailer. Mm-hmm. I noticed there was something different about this trailer. Tyler, do you know what was different about this trailer?
Harvey Weinstein wasn't involved in it.
Well, he was involved with it. Yeah. But there's something majorly different. There's two actors in this movie that were not originally in this movie. That's Tom Holland and Catherine Waterston. And I think we have a photo of those two actors.
Spider-Man and
the Ripley ripoff.
Oh, yeah.
She's a girl from Alien Covenant.
I was going to say the new Harry Potter movies.
Yeah, she's from the new Harry Potter movies. Mm-hmm. There she is, looking very 60s. And they put these two in the movie, I guess, to just kind of give it a little bit more zing. It's kind of like adding a little Texas Pete to your dish, these two people. And I guess they tried to make it so now it was more relevant in 2019.
They get the kids to watch it.
Well, I guess it's just more...
Put Spider-Man in, the kids are going to watch it.
I guess they're making it more current.
Okay.
But any final thoughts on this trailer before we go on?
I'll probably watch this movie. I'm a big fan of Nikola Tesla. I like his egg of Columbus and his death ray invented in World War II.
I'm interested to see how this movie is. I haven't read any reviews of it. Apparently it came out in England because apparently England's just like, we won this well. We don't even know who Harvey Weinstein is.
We don't know who these people are.
I know who Tom Holland and Benedict Cumberbatch are. And Nicholas Hoult.
I like how your English accent was French.
Yeah, it was more French. Yes.
And I hear that. Do you think he'll do a better job than David Bowie?
What?
David Bowie's.
David Bowie was an awesome Nikola Tesla.
Yeah.
Yes, he was. But speaking about great music and hard times, James Bond.
What?
The 25th movie has been going through some production problems, and they released a video to make sure everything was just fine. It's not propaganda whatsoever.
And I know Anna D. Armas is in this too.
Who?
Anna D. Armas.
I'm trying to think who that is. Who is that?
Blade Runner 2020.
Oh yeah, she's a very attractive lady, and she's also a great actress, which is
Yeah.
probably why they cast her in that film. But as far as this James Bond stuff goes, have you seen the behind-the-scenes footage that I'm talking about?
Okay, I'm about to tell everybody this is going to shock you. I really don't care about James Bond anymore.
Really?
Really don't. I think I got Bond fatigue.
You got Bond fatigue?
Yeah, Bond fatigue.
Oh, well, I disagree. I like James Bond. I was not a big fan of Spectre. I think we have the clip that we can play behind us in just a minute. But this one, this one right here. They were filming in Jamaica, and this one has like a really cool Jamaican song to it. And it showed a bunch of big action sequences. They're shooting it on film, which I like. I mean, that's neither here nor there. But a big thing about this movie is that they're having a lot of production problems. Apparently, they lost the director, Danny Boyle. Danny Boyle's thus come out and said...
Danny Boyle's dead.
No, Danny Boyle, he originally he was going to direct this movie. He's like, I'm not cut out for this kind of blockbuster stuff. So they handed it over to another director. And
Brett Ratner.
no, Brett Ratner's right in the Harvey Weinstein camp of,
Okay. Yeah, you're right.
of gross things. But Daniel Craig, apparently, I think he got hurt on the set or something like that because they were filming in Pinewood Studios, and there was like a massive explosion in there that was part of the movie, but it like ripped half the studio off. It was so powerful. It was like Danny McBride was back there from Tropic Thunder.
I was just thinking about that too. Like, boom!
I'm ready to blow
What's
stuff.
up?
Yeah, so they're filming in Jamaica. I don't know what the plot is of this movie, but people are kind of thinking it's going to be a globe-trotting adventure. Obviously, it's James Bond.
Wasn't there one that happened in Jamaica, or was it Trinidad?
I don't remember.
Which one had Baron Mundy?
I'm not so well versed in the Bond
Baron
stuff.
Mundy.
Baron Mundy? I
Was
don't
it
know.
Baron Mundy?
You leave it in the comments in case you guys know. I'm not super well versed in the Bond stuff, but I do like these Daniel Craig movies. As long as this one is better than Spectre, I'll be happy. Because Spectre was a disappointment to me. Skyfall was fantastic. But I don't know. So why don't you care about why don't you care about James Bond?
Spectre.
Is it because of Spectre?
It's because of Spectre.
Did it really ruin it that much for you?
I come to the point where what's left for James Bond to do?
Go to Jamaica, apparently.
I mean, he's already been in Jamaica. I think I saw one where he was in Jamaica. Like,
Which one was he in Jamaica?
I want to say it was. I want to say Roger Moore. Roger Moore was in Jamaica.
Oh, I mean,
yeah, you remember Roger Moore was in Jamaica? I think
Michael's not in his head. I think he remembers this movie. Roger Moore is the silly one, though. I mean,
I can't remember. I think he was in Haiti.
Okay.
Never mind. It was Haiti because they had voodoo in it.
okay, yeah. Wow, that's I don't know how I feel about that. Was this back in like the 70s? Is Roger Moore?
70s. Yes,
Yeah.
Roger Moore.
Oh, that sounds kind of dated. I don't know. That wouldn't fly today if they did that. But,
Voodoo?
That does the voodoo stuff. I don't think that would fly today.
Oh, it had like one of the greatest Bond villains about the Baron. Man, he was creepy.
Okay. Well, as far as this movie goes, apparently Freddie Mercury himself, what's his name, Rami Malek,
Yeah.
he's going to be playing the villain in this. I'm excited to see where this is going to go. I'm excited to see what exactly this movie is going to try and do, and I'm really curious to see if they're actually going to be able to pull it off. Any final thoughts before we go on?
I'll probably have to go watch it.
Heard. Speaking of probably going to have to watch it, Charlie's Angels has got a third reboot, and guess what? It stars 3 women that have careers. That's right. And Kristen Stewart.
What okay, yeah, I could say this one had careers. I have careers.
Okay, it's Kristen Stewart. I haven't seen her in anything in a long time.
I think she was in. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I know
Wow.
exactly. The last thing I remember her doing is like doing some shady stuff with the Snow White and the Huntsman director.
Yeah.
To try to that's a whole nother story. You can Google that one if you like.
The students didn't want to touch her after that. There was a lawsuit waiting to happen.
Well, I don't know. She's probably a lovely lady, but she stars in this trailer along with Naomi Scott and another actress I've never heard of. But the important part about this one, I think we have the trailer that we can play behind us in just a second. But Elizabeth Banks wrote and directed this movie.
Okay. No, let's stop right there. I did like Pitch Perfect. I thought Pitch Perfect was
Pitch Perfect's great, yeah.
Yeah,
there's Miss Elizabeth Banks right now. She also she's in this movie too.
So if it's the comedy event, the smart comedy that Pitch Perfect was.
Yeah, that's Kristen Stewart, by the way. I don't know how I feel about her playing like the girly girl, like the one that seduces the guy. That's not really Kristen Stewart's kind of character.
Yeah, because she's usually the really unattractive one in the room.
Well, no, she's more kind of like the punk rock kind of like smoking the cigarette in the corner kind of person that's just like, I don't care what anyone thinks about me. She's kind of like this in the trailer. And also, guess who's in it? Patrick Stewart.
Well, I mean Patrick Stewart. Oh, that's right.
Patrick Stewart's in this movie. Yeah.
Is he Charlie?
I believe he is Charlie.
See, Patrick Stewart. I mean, Kristen Stewart was always the one that was kind of like maybe if I'm drunk enough. Maybe some alcohol.
Watching a movie you were talking about, right?
Yeah, I'm talking about her performances now. Maybe if I'm drunk enough, I'll watch it. But
I mean, Twilight, you gotta be a few drinks in.
No, you got to be high to watch Twilight. I mean, you got to be over the hill. I mean, you got to be stoned to get through that movie.
You got to be on something to make it through that film.
And you got to be on something too to actually enjoy it.
And if you accept before we go on, if you accept the child's name Renesmee as a beautiful name, you might be on something.
You remember a character's name?
I remember the.
You remember a character's name?
I remember the creepy CGI baby called Renesmee, and I know there's going to be like an influx of like 14-year-olds at the time that will become mothers in the future that will name their children that. But anyway, Charlie's Angels trailer. What do you think about this trailer?
I'll probably watch it.
Okay. Well, as far as kind of like them rebooting this movie. And the style that they're going for right now, do you feel like this is going to be any different than what they're going to try to do? They're just going to try to do like a soft reboot of their old one?
I think it's going to be a reboot, and I think this is going to be, I'm going to say that it's probably going to be more of an action comedy, because I kind of feel like the last one was almost a comedy, the last reboot they did. But
the McG one?
Yeah, but I felt like it was like surrealist. I don't know. It was
a McG movie, and we're also, has Lucy Liu and Cameron Diaz in there, and this is supposed to be a movie with actors in it.
Was one of them dating McG or married to McG or something?
I'm sure. I don't know. That's Hollywood, man. But I like Elizabeth Banks as a writer and director, but there's an important caveat. This is a Sony film. I think that's important to note, which determines the quality of said film.
Okay, Sony films are getting better.
I mean, saying Sony films are getting better, it's like, well, my strep throat's getting better, but the symptoms are still there.
Yeah.
It's still not good.
It's not as bad as it used to be, but it's getting better. Of course, Marvel did most of that.
Yeah, well, you're talking about specifically superhero movies.
Yeah, specifically superhero
Well,
movies.
any final thoughts on this Charlie's Angels news before we go on?
I'll probably watch it.
Okay, you're saying that about pretty much everything. You got anything else to say about it?
I mean, I will watch this film. I mean, I'm a fan of Elizabeth Banks.
Heard.
Except for Power Rangers.
Well, speaking about except for Power Rangers, Flash Gordon is getting a film.
Oh, dun 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 dun.
Now we talked about
Flash, savior of the
Taika
universe.
Waititi. Okay,
dude, I'm down for this.
Mr. Taika Waititi is going to be taking a quote crack at this. I believe this is going to be on some streaming platform.
Let it happen. I want it now. Give it to me now. I want it now.
Now it's been it's kind of rumored that this might be like a mini series or like a TV show, but I think I think it's going to be an actual movie.
The TV show is horrible.
Well,
the movie was bad too, but it was potentially hilarious.
I think this is going to be an animated too. So
okay.
That's what I heard. It's really early in production in this one. The biggest thing is Taika Waititi is involved with this. If you don't know who Taika Waititi is, he directed Thor Ragnarok. He also directed What We Do in the Shadows, and he's a really quality director. And he's got a really cool, quirky sense of humor. I don't know. What do you think about this news?
I will watch it. I am down for this. I'll watch anything Taika Waititi throws at a screen. He could make take a 3-minute effort in the video. I'm gonna sit there and watch. I'm gonna push my way in line to go watch this. I love Taika Waititi. I love his movies. I love his TV shows. They're great.
Heard that. And I think he's really talented too. I like his sense of humor. I think it's really going to sit really well in the Flash Gordon universe. The biggest thing is
it really fits because Flash Gordon's out there.
Flash Gordon, if you don't know what Flash Gordon is, it's like a 1950s kind of adventure serial.
Dude, it's older than that.
Well, it's early cinema film serials.
Turn of the century.
That basically revolve around a character named Flash. And he does all these space adventures and whatnot, just kind of keeping it layman's
He was a football player that was kidnapped.
We don't need to go into detail about his character.
But I love it. I love his character. I love the detail.
But they made a movie in the 70s where he was like a football player and he went to the alien planet and he did all his stuff. And Queen did the soundtrack for that.
And it was great. The movie was terrible. The soundtrack was amazing.
But this one, I'm really curious to see how they're going to bring this into the modern time because this is a really kind of dated concept. Flash Gordon was a big inspiration for Star Wars, by the way.
Now they keep it like the wacky action comedy they had going on in like he kind of put with like the Ragnarok.
I think this is probably the
would
best
fit-
possible director to have this with.
Because it'll fit either him or James Gunn, but I mean, it'll fit.
You know, James Gunn's already kind of did that with Guardians of the Galaxy. He would be retreading himself. I think Taika Waititi is a great choice for this. But any final thoughts before we go on?
I'm excited. Please keep the same soundtrack.
Okay, so guys, do you want him to keep the same soundtrack in the Charlie's Angels movie? Don't say yes. But you can, in case you want to, in the comments at facebook.com/Studio67NCC. And we would love to hear what you guys have to say. And let us know where you're watching, you know? We really do appreciate it, every single one of you. Except for you. We love you too. But we just don't like you sometimes. I'm just kidding.
Let's watch our stuff, please.
Anyway, we're going to take a really quick break. When we come back, we're going to have something tacked on at the end of this called Toy Story 4 review.
That sounds fun.
Stay with us.
When it comes to culinary arts, Nash Community College is here to turn your burning passion for food into a career. Our chefs, with over 70 years of highly qualified industry experience, are here to point you in the right direction, teaching and handing down classical culinary techniques that will improve your skills and help you cut your way into the food industry. Gain invaluable experience, vital to cooking and preparing delicious food, served in a personal and creative environment. To learn more about the Culinary Arts program, visit nashcc.edu.
Whoa! Masters of the Universe. Guys, welcome back to Big Bang Cinema. My name is Isaac, the Master of the Universe Anderson.
I am Tyler. I live in this universe, Keen.
And thank you so much for coming back and joining us. We really do appreciate it. Guys, we saw a movie this week that we're going to review
Yes.
like any other week. So Tyler, what do we see this week?
Toy Story 4.
Toy Story 4. Okay, so real quick, Tyler, short version, what is Toy Story 4 about?
It's the redheaded stepchild in this whole series.
Okay.
Completely
Brett,
unnecessary.
I don't agree, but so I take it you don't like this film.
It's like I said, the other film series is like a cake. I think you've heard this analogy before. You got you get all three layers. You know, you got the
I
icing.
usually use chicken, but
Okay, well that's true, the chicken or an onion. But we have like the cake. You know, that's like the first one. You have the nice icing, which was the second one. Then you have like your little cherries and your fruit on top, which is the last film's complete. Here's your complete movie series. This was like someone back put sprinkles back on the cake. Unnecessary. You didn't need it. It adds nothing to it. It was like the second dessert. I mean, I didn't need that. I didn't want it. We didn't need it. Why is it here?
okay.
Money.
Well,
That's why.
I'm slightly in a different camp. I like this movie a lot. I didn't think it was great. It's really good, is what I'll say. It was not bad. It was not quite at the level of the other ones. This one had a. We'll get into specifics, but the stuff that it was handling, I thought was really resonant for the most part. I thought it was really funny. I thought the performances were really good. I thought the visuals were a definite highlight. But we'll get into that really quick. So Tyler, let's talk a little bit about the story and everything. Now the story is probably my biggest gripe with the movie.
So it's like 4 different stories, and then just kind of it's almost like an anthology.
Well, I have written down here it has 4 different screenwriters in this movie.
Wait, was there 4 different screenwriters?
There's 4 different screenwriters in this movie. Did you
Hey.
not stay for the credits and not see that?
Of course I didn't stay for the credit. This movie was long.
This movie was only 100 minutes.
Really? I felt like
Yeah.
I felt like I was there over 2.5 hours.
It was like an hour and 40 minutes.
It felt like it was 2.5 hours long.
Each Toy Story movie is about that long. I think the first one's like 90 minutes. But this movie had 4 different screenwriters, like I just said, and it feels like a movie written by 4 different people with 4 different ideas. Because we have, we're not going to get into spoilers quite yet, so you don't have to worry in case you haven't seen the movie. But the first one revolves around Forky, like we've seen in the trailer. It has to do with that kind of
It
themes
was
of
kind of messed up too.
it's themes of suicide and like not accepting
Yeah.
Forky not accepting who he is, and he keeps trying to essentially kill himself.
Because-
he keeps saying he's trash. He keeps trying to throw himself in the trash.
Yeah.
And it's like basically he's like jumping off ledges and stuff, and it looks like he's trying to kill himself.
Yeah, hit too
But,
close to home for me.
But there's another plot involving like an antique shop that it has a whole nother toy plot with like
It's the movie. It's like the how do I say it? It's like it changes mood.
Yeah, well, I mean,
constantly changes.
it's total changes in the themes that I definitely had a problem with. It was too many things going on. Now, here's the main thing, okay? This isn't really a super big problem, but the way it's handled, I think, was the biggest problem. Also, this is Mr. Duke Kaboom right here. That's played by Mr. Keanu Reeves.
I did. Duke Kaboom was pretty
and
awesome.
you can disagree with me on this. We'll talk about this after I say this. But so the first movie is very consistent. It's about jealousy and basically kind of almost what it's like to get like another sibling or something like that, or like what it's like when somebody new comes in and like your friend starts paying attention to them, you're not getting as much attention.
Jealousy and envy.
Yeah, and about kind of accepting, to how to share, basically. The second one is about, abandonment and kind of like, as far as kind of getting older. When kids get older, they start playing, with the toy. And do you want to sit in your life trying to, enjoy what you do have while you have it, or do you just want to basically sit on the shelf and watch it and try to stay pristine but never enjoy any experiences with anybody else? The third one is very much about growing up. It's about moving on. And this one was about,
suicide.
Was about accepting who you are,
Yeah.
and basically like themes of like, mortality and whatnot. It was really deep. And there's another one about acceptance, and there's another one kind of about moving on. And like I didn't know how I felt about this specific plot line. I won't go into too much detail about it, but there was one plot about kind of like doing what's good for yourself instead of trying to do what's good for others, which I got what they were trying to do. I don't know if I completely agree with it. And there's just like all these different things. It wasn't tight like the other ones. The other ones are very specific about what they're about. This one was kind of all over the place.
That's what it felt like. That your first trilogy is like that cake. This really doesn't fit in with your cake. It was too much. It was unnecessary. It was unneeded.
Well, I mean, definitely, I didn't think this one was needed, but because it's here, I thought it was good for what it tried to do. It wasn't like the Crystal Skull or anything like that. It wasn't the Star Wars prequels. It wasn't any of that. I like the character of Forky. I think we should talk a little bit about Forky because Forky is one of the main plots of the movie. He's played by Tony Hale, who is from Arrested Development. And I liked him. He was really funny. He was. It's kind of a creepy thing because without giving too much away, essentially, Molly. What's her name? Molly. The kid?
Molly. Yeah, who's Molly?
Yeah, Molly makes this toy out of a fork that Woody pulls out of the trash, and all of a sudden it becomes alive, and it just won't accept the fact that it's really a toy. It keeps saying, "I'm trash, I'm trash," and it was a lot of themes. Also, I think we should mention this. Forky was really cool, but let's just take a minute and look at Mr. Andy. This is from the Toy Story 1. This is from this movie. He either got in a car crash and had to get a reconstruction surgery, or Pixar just got really a lot better at animating human faces. I think it's the number 2.
Yeah, because he only got Down syndrome in the first one.
Oh, come on. Don't say that. Boo.
But yeah,
Boo.
you see it, don't you? You see it now.
Boo.
You see it now, don't you?
Don't say that. Don't say that. That's wrong. But the biggest highlight of this, aside from kind of the performances and everything, was definitely the visuals. This is probably the best looking Pixar film I've ever seen.
I gotta say, it was probably one of the best CGI films I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was.
It was pretty good.
Yeah, the lighting and everything in this movie, especially like in the antique shop when there's like lights in the background. The opening scene involves them like going back to it's in Andy's house, it's in the past, and the outside looks real. Like it's like raining outside, and it looks like legitimately beautiful. And I think Pixar basically just makes films to try to challenge themselves to get better at animation. I think that's what A Bug's Life was about. That's why a lot of their movies revolved around inanimate objects like toys or like creatures like bugs or something like that. So they didn't have to animate human faces.
Yeah, it's like, what if toys had feelings? What if bugs had feelings?
Yeah.
What if cars had feelings?
What if there was monsters under your bed actually had feelings?
And it was like, what if feelings had feelings?
What if fish have feelings?
What if Mexicans had feelings?
Oh, wait. Oh, come on. You talking about Coco right now?
Wait. Yeah,
what
I'm
are
going
you
through the list
talking
right now. I'm going through the list right now. What if Scottish people had feelings?
Well, I liked most of what the film had to offer. I thought it was very funny. And by the way, Combat Carl.
Combat Carl was awesome.
Not a spoiler.
And that was Carl. You showed me it was Carl Weathers.
That's Carl Weathers played him.
Wow.
A lot of big names in this. The Duke Kaboom plot was really funny. Keanu Reeves did a great job on that. Aside from kind of the unfocusedness of the story, I thoroughly enjoyed this film. I give this movie like a 7.5 out of 10. I really enjoyed it.
I'm about there with you. I mean, the other ones I give them like 9 and 10.
Oh yeah, the other
10
ones are fantastic.
But this to me, this is the redhead stepchild in the group.
I didn't dislike it as much as that. But what would you give it? 1 out of 10?
Wait. Tell me, you hated redhead stepchild?
No. I'm saying I would love it just like my own.
I'm saying this. It didn't fit. It didn't fit with the rest of the series.
I don't agree.
Because it didn't.
I don't agree. I just think it was too much.
unnecessary. Too much. It brought too much to the series. It was
Score.
too
What's
much.
your score?
I don't like. I could give it a 7 out of 10.
Okay.
See, I'm really disappointed, but it kind of ruined my childhood. I did not like the way this movie ended.
Don't
I was
agree.
very, very disappointed in it.
I don't agree that it ruined your childhood. This was not like
Spoilers now.
Okay, spoilers for Toy Story 4.
Spoilers now. They become carnies. They become the gypsies of America. I'm like,
I wasn't as crazy about that. In case you don't know, we'll end on this. Woody basically goes with Bo Peep, who has been kind of just going around by herself. I hope. By the way, sorry for like everybody that just heard Tyler's knuckles crack right in their ears.
I was so angry about this movie.
But Bo Peep convinces Woody to basically go out and do what's good for him and kind of abandon the kid because the kid doesn't play with him anymore. And he goes around and basically like tries to free all these toys from like carnival games. I didn't know how I felt about that. They needed to do something different with Woody, but that was the only thing I wasn't so sure about.
See, I had an idea before the show started. Have Woody end up with Andy, like they do a time skip. Andy buys them online. He's like, I'm gonna give this to my grandkids. I had one when I was a child, and then he looks at the bottom of like Buzz and Woody, and it says Andy on the bottom of it.
Well, they needed to go somewhere different. Andy's kind of out of the picture now. I kind of like the fact that they didn't go back to Andy.
His because a lot of toys get passed down, and his grandkids get it.
Be like if you guys watch most of our programming, you can go back and watch Mr. Greg Smith's interview. Greg Smith is a musician. He worked for Lucasfilm for a long time. He had a Rickenbacker bass. He sold it, and then years later he bought one on eBay, and it turned out to be the same one.
Yeah, that would have been a really nice story to kind of like.
Yeah. Kind of go full circle. But
Full
anyway,
circle with it.
Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. Next week, the school's going to be closed. We're actually going to be taking that week off because of July 4th. And the week after that, we're going to be coming back right here just like normal, and we're going to be talking about Spider-Man Far From Home. I keep wanting to say Homecoming. Don't know why.
Oh, I'm excited for it.
I'm excited for it, too. This is kind of the end of what they call the Infinity Saga. So I'm excited to see what they're going to do with it. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. Hope you enjoy your next week. Hope you enjoy getting a little bit of time off from us. You won't. Anyway, my name is Isaac, the Red Shirt Anderson.
I am Tyler.
Stay lovely.
I know, I already know.